Hello, one, hello, all, and we are back, folks, live at Similori Field, Similori Sports Complex, I should say, because way across in left field, over the other side of the parking lot, we got some electricity over there as well. The here and now, folks, we're back for some baseball, Bulldogs varsity baseball. I hope you all went home last night and got some rest after that game. I'll tell you what, that was a hard-fought victory. The Bulldogs escaped. They left a lot of runners on base. They got fortunate a few times. They played it, they had enough, and they were very fortunate. They had Dean Pons Jr. on the hill. Speaking of Dean Pons Jr., today voted Athlete of the Week. We all know what game they're referring to. It was a 5-inning mercy rule victory, 15 batters he faced. He struck out 14, dove for the 15th out, and threw him out at first base. He pretty much made every out. Obviously, you're going to get voted for Athlete of the Week for that without any kind of competition. That's a game that I'll never see again. Honestly, as I thought back to that game, that's something I'm not going to see again. And going even further back, it's kind of odd I mentioned last night, but a year ago, almost to the day, Dean Pons Jr. was Athlete of the Week. So obviously he is the foundation for this Bulldog squad. This Bulldog squad is deep, though, folks. And we're going to see tonight, as you see on the hill right now, number 33, that's a freshman. We've been fortunate enough to have seen him one time prior this year, and it was a complete game. It was a mercy victory, but he went the distance, and I actually have the numbers in front of me for it was against Tiverton, at Similori Field. It was a 3-2 victory, and he threw exactly 100 pitches, a complete game, so he's got it in him as far as his season stats go coming into today. As a freshman, mind you, folks, Michael Poole has a 3.04 ERA. He's got 3 wins, 1 loss, 7 appearances with 1 save. He started 3 games. He's got a complete game. All those numbers are fantastic considering he's a freshman. He's got 3 more years after this one. This team is definitely has their eyes on the top of the mountain, the peak of the mountain. They're winning the games they should win. Last night was a rivalry game. The fans they were lining the field. They were out in the outfield. Greg Gorman almost made a truck pay for it, in fact. And as you've seen on the replay, and we have a highlight reel up on Westerly.live, I am the voice, Greg Moreno, alongside producer, owner, Shane Belanger. We have Lisa down the line behind the lens. We are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio. We are your only source for Westerly High School sports, folks. And right now, we can't forget anybody. The volleyball team is playing well. They got a big game tonight, a huge challenge. That is in Federico Gymnasium. Right here on the diamond, the Bulldogs are playing the incoming Exeter-West Greenwich Knights. The Knights have a task ahead of them, folks. They are looking for their first win of the season. I will say, though, the Bulldogs coming off such an emotional victory last night, there's always the chance of that trap game. However, this team has so much leadership and so much baseball IQ, I fear not that that's going to be the case. Here we go. First pitch, kick by the freshman, Michael Poole. Double threes on the hill. First pitch, called strike. Also play platoons at first base and in the outfield. Just the excitement around this baseball team this year is unparalleled. And a swing down the first base line, and that's going to be handled on the hop by Evan Klein. 2 pitches, 1 out, and the Bulldogs will throw it around the horn. So Poole dispatches the first batter of the game. And up comes number 6 for the Knights, Joshua Savino, a junior. The story is the rest of the season for the Bulldogs, and we have plenty of time to talk tonight, or we may have plenty of time to talk tonight. It depends on if the offense bounces back from last night. And the pitch strike inside, I'd imagine he called strike. So he's right in the zone to start the game, no problems at all, getting settled in. I'm noticing goes right back to the rubber, or thus far he has. That's a tactic that Dean Pons Jr. masters. He controls the pace of the entire game, folks. I'm talking even in the dugout, the way he pitches controls the pace of a baseball game. And that's why the Bulldogs were able to win last night. And over the plate it goes, foul straight back in. It's a 1-2 count. And I want to tell you, we were one of the last ones to leave last night as we broke down all of our equipment and everything. And Coach Spazzato was on the mound fixing it and everything, raking. And just under the lights in the darkness, I was watching. And what did I see? Number 7, Dean Pons Jr. Here's the pitch, breaking ball upstairs. 2-2 count. Who did I see? Dean Pons Jr. running laps. And I'm talking laps. He was hugging the fence. He wasn't cheating himself, and he was doing it on his own. Coach Spazzato noticed it. I noticed it. And that's why this team wins games. And that's why he is going to play the next level. Followed straight back 2-2. Remains the count. 1 up, 1 down thus far in this one, folks. Beautiful night. Not a cloud in the sky. Last night, folks, there was electricity across the parking lot. The The pitch coming in. And breaking ball. That one drops in the zone. Strike three. Poole strikes some out. Nice breaking ball. Big drop on it. 2 up, 2 down for the Bulldogs. So the Lady Bulldogs fast pitch softball team, folks, they are 9-3. They are 10-2. 10-2, 10-3 overall. But what matters is the league. They're 10-2. They don't have a senior on the roster. Poole's pitch. And that one's low and away, ball one. Without a senior on the roster, only a couple juniors. You have Sophie Valentini, a sophomore pitcher, and she's got Arnold behind the plate. That duo is obviously impeccable, especially considering they are going to be back for the next year and the next 2 years. They have a lot of players coming back for the next couple of years. And to have the talent and the output, the production that they're putting out this year, that's why the parking lot's full on the other side of the field. So we'll be spending a lot of time here at Similary Sports Complex, needless to say, low and away. And the batter is ahead here. 2-0 the count. 2 up, 2 down so far. Number 2 at bat. Number 20 at bat. Austin Howe, senior. Trying to be the first base runner for the Knights and swings foul straight back. 2-1 the count. Costa behind the plate for the Bulldogs, per usual. Always the unsung hero is the catcher. Poole's 2-2 offered swing and a miss. Nice pitch over the outer portion, all the way back to 2-2. He evens it up. And I have to say, that Waterford game, their only little blemish there, and it doesn't even matter because it wasn't a league game. Nice breaking ball over the inside portion. He doesn't hang him, folks. Not in the first inning. Not last time we saw him. That pitch drops. He pulls the string right on that one. Poole, 1-2-3 first inning. Can't do better than that. 1 ground out to first, 2 strikeouts, and the Bulldogs will take their first chance at the plate as they meet outside the dugout. And they're going to take this game with a workmanlike effort. I have a feeling. Coach Pizzato, I can imagine, didn't have to say much in the dugout. They know what went wrong, what went right. They won the game, and in a lot of ways they were fortunate too. But to have the weapon that they had on the hill, it's not fortunate, it's reality. That's their squad. So they want to come back and they want to see if their offense can kick in gear a little bit more. Obviously, runners left on base last night, they were in the double digits. They had the bases loaded 3 times, in fact, twice without an out and once with 1 out. That's all in the past. It turned out to be a win. On the hill for the Knights, number 6, and he's a 3/4 arm pitcher. That's Joshua Savino. He's a junior. And we'll see how he does against the Bulldogs. That style of pitching sometimes can offer a little bit more break on your breaking ball. However, it shows the ball to the batter that much earlier. And like I said, I keep going back to this baseball IQ that Coach Pizzato has implemented these players and that they carry with them on the field. They'll use that to their advantage. That extra tick of seeing the pitch, seeing the rotation on the ball, that makes a difference. You may not think so, but it's a matter of fact. So that's why you don't see the majority of pitchers at the higher levels throwing at a 3/4 or a sidearm angle, as well as injury possibility. It's tough on your arm, your tendons, your elbow. It generally lends to a shorter career overall. So the umpire has him throw down. He's ready, warmed up. And apparently they're going to throw one more. So let's see how the Bulldogs start out on offense here. We're leading off with number 7. We all know who he is, Dean Pons Jr., Athlete of the Week. Complete game winner last night on the hill for the Bulldogs in their rivalry matchup versus the Chargers, a game that had a lot of implications going down the line, folks. This Bulldog team has worked so hard to get where they're at, and they can't let up. They really can't. They play Exeter today. They go to Exeter in a few days. They actually have 3 days off before they see them again. I'm going to get back to the game at the moment here, and you know I have plenty to talk about. Pons Jr. in the box, leading off for the Bulldogs. And high and away. And this Bulldog offense can be powerful. They can strike quickly and often. And they can do it with the long ball. They can do it all around the park. And second offering of the day. Especially versus a righty. This is a lefty-righty 3/4 arm thrower. That even gives them that much more time to see the ball. And at least know if it's a breaking pitch. Pons up in the count, 2-0. Has that second little tick in his motion. That's his windup, and that's going to be down the middle for a strike. Velocity shouldn't affect the Bulldogs much. It's not a high-velocity pitch at the moment. Hasn't shown his breaking pitch yet. This would be where he may, I would imagine. And the kick and delivery inside almost hits Pons. He got out of the way, 3-1. Batter's count, having trouble getting in the strike zone. He's laid one in there. And if he throws too many of those, the score will rise quickly for the Bulldogs. Pons' job, he knows that lead off, he wants to swing the bat, but his job is to get on base any way possible. Nice pitch, over the plate, swing and a miss. These Bulldogs are going to have to idle down a little bit, and credit last night to the Charo pitcher, Cormier. What a job he did getting out of so many jams, just couldn't get out of enough. The Bulldogs are constant, they're always coming at you, and they wore down the Chargers last night and won the game despite all the problems. Leadoff hitter on base, Dean Pons Jr., that's what he does, that's what his job is. He either does it by swinging, or he does it by a good at bat with patience. Here comes Greg Gorman. We all know what Greg Gorman can do coming into the game today. He is batting over the half-century mark, 522 batting average, folks, 5 home runs. Those aren't fake numbers, those are real numbers. Batting 522, 5 home runs, number 17. Heading to Bryant next year. Lefty versus lefty, low and away. Ooh, called a strike. Got the call on that one. And that doesn't make much of a difference. As I said, I've been witness to 3 of Greg Gorman's home runs, and he was behind in the count 0-2 on 2 of them and 0-1 on the other. So, the kick, Pons is off, swing and a miss. And the throw's not going to be close, and he's going to get second base. The Bulldogs, another successful steal, folks, and they just keep stealing bases, and they keep doing it successfully. And let's see if the numbers updated on that. Because last night going into the game, they were 40 for 40. I know they weren't thrown out last night at all to break the streak, and there's another one, so runner in scoring position, and Greg Gorman quickly down 0-2. And let's see what he does. He doesn't do much different. He has confidence in himself. He doesn't choke and poke. He's got such a beautiful swing that I envy as a former lefty, let me tell you right now. That second tick on the hill, I don't know what to, and that's going to be away. Nice protection with 2 strikes, fouls it back. He comes to a set, and then he kicks his foot back, which almost like a balk, but they're allowing he did it to the leadoff hitter. I thought that was his version of a windup, but he comes to the ready from here. And that kick right there, that should be a balk. And it's a high kick, and that's away, so it is a 1-2 count. So he definitely comes to 2 set positions, but the umpires are going to let it go. We got Pons leading off second base here, folks. Second hitter of the game for the Bulldogs. We are just getting started here live at Similori Field, and the 1-2 pitch, Gorman, 2-2. Wasn't a bat, another good at bat by Gorman, working the pitcher from an 0-2 count back to a 2-2 count. And the Bulldogs dugout starting to get alive. Everybody's coming back from last night's victory. There could be a trap aura in the environment. I don't feel it. I don't see it. I saw the Bulldogs warming up. I can hear the Bulldogs in the dugout. And the 2-2 pitch high strikes out Greg Gorman up and in. That's a task, and is 1 down for the Knights. In the box for the Bulldogs, number 21, Zach Beckler, coming into the game, only batting .404. The number 3 hitter for the Bulldogs, not too shabby. And he takes off the third, Pons does, and the slide, the throw's a beauty, but I think he's in, and he is. Steals third base, that's 2 stolen bases. So a leadoff walk followed by 2 stolen bases, and now the Bulldogs just need a sac fly to score. 1 out, you needed to get to third base, allow a sac fly to get a run in. A little punch and Judy, they're aggressive on the base pass, folks, and they're good on the base pass. And they kick the pitches away, called strike, open strike zone he's got. So hopefully he gives it to Poole as well. 0-1 the count. No, it can't be 0-1. 1-1 the count. And the kick and pitch. And he hits a chopper to short. Handled. Throw to first. That's going to score the first Bulldog run as Pons is in easily. Ground ball to the infield. Unfortunately, it's just a ground out. You don't get the RBI for it, but nevertheless, the Bulldogs in the bottom of the first inning jump out 1-2-0 versus the Exeter-West Greenwich Knights. They started out on offense the way they wanted to, the way they needed to, coming off of last night. A victory, of course, folks, a big victory. Packed house, rivalry. Charahoe was playing for playoff implication seedings. Bulldogs were too. They came away with a huge victory. But then in hindsight, looking back, they left a lot of runners on base. They didn't want to do that today. They've had 1 base runner, and he has played it himself, essentially. A walk with a good at bat by Dean Pons Jr. Steals second, steals third, and gets home on a chopper to shortstop. That's an efficient job offensively by Dean Pons Jr. And the pitch inside, called a strike again. Simmons didn't like the call. I didn't like the call. Wide open strike zone, to say the least. And 0-2 is the count. 2 down, and the bases are empty, but the Bulldogs have tacked one on here in the bottom of the first inning. And the pitch down the middle, line about up the middle for a single. So Shep Simmons with a single, and the Bulldogs back in action here with 2 outs. See if they can do any further damage, and they clearly can with Jack Tenuta heading to the plate, number 22, batting .356 with 3 round trippers, a sophomore, and also a force to be reckoned with on the hill. He had a win in an 11-0 victory through a 97-pitch complete game on the second not too long ago. And first pitch outside, he's been calling that, didn't give it to him that time. 1-0 count. At this point, I can't guess the pitch because I'm not sure of the call. Simmons takes his lead off of first, high kick, and that's inside, called strike. 1-1 count. Tenuta gets himself comfortable in the box. Savino at the ready. The high kick, the pitch over the plate, ground ball, and that is going to be another single. So back-to-back singles by Simmons and Tenuta for the Bulldogs, and they are in action here with 2 outs. The catcher, Travis Costa, takes off his shin guards, didn't know if he was going to get in that bat. There was nobody on with 2 outs, and he was 3 batters away, but here he comes. And as I said earlier, he's generally the unsung hero. He is always suited up, always ready to play. He's a dirt dog behind the plate. High kick. And first pitch strike. So the Bulldogs a single away from possibly scoring a run if you place it well. Pitcher at the ready, 0-1 count, 2 outs, bottom of the first. And that's going to be low in, and beautiful job. They hit him. Great job of stopping it. It's irrelevant the fact that it hit Costa. So now the bases are loaded. So from nobody on with 2 outs, the bases are loaded for the Bulldogs. Number 6, Trey Rextis. The lefty in the box. Lefty versus lefty. Bases loaded on this beautiful Thursday, folks. Then you got one day off. We're going across the complex. At the ready, Rextis, bases loaded, first pitch, a called strike. That was right in the heart of where a lefty would like it, on the inner portion over the plate, about belt high. 1-0 Bulldogs. Can they expand the lead? And one-handed, nice job reaching out and making the stop. That's number 7, Tyler Muniz, only a freshman behind the plate for the Knights, and stabs at it, saving a run. I think unaware of the perils in foul territory, the real estate that the Bulldogs have here at Similary Field. And that's over the plate, fouled away down the left side. This production is brought to you in part by Remy Cycles, Teddy's Toys, Valenti Subaru, McQuaid's Ace Hardware, Wireless Zone, and Strategia. As the Bulldogs return to base from the foul ball here, bases are loaded. 1-1 count, 2 outs, 1 run in. Bottom of the first inning. Trey Rextis at bat for the Bulldogs. And that's going to be inside. Almost hits him, doesn't. Maybe you wanted to stay in there. I think, yes, I think you wanted to. That would have been for a run. 2-2 the count. 2 outs. 2's the magic number. And the kick and pitch, swing and a miss. And that's going to end the inning for the Bulldogs. As far as I'm aware, they've only scored a run. The scoreboard on the field reads 2. But 1 inning in the books, folks. Bulldogs tack on a run, take an early lead versus the Knights. Not a commanding lead, but an early lead. Michael Poole, number 33, returns to the rubber for the Bulldogs, the freshman. So here's the story of the Bulldogs. Since that loss to Waterford, it was Tenuta and Pons Jr. on the hill to help the Bulldogs rebound from the loss, and that was versus the Wheeler School Rocky Hill, and they won 11-0 in a mercy rule game. That was directly after the Mudfest versus Waterford in the rain, but I'll talk about that later. I think that might have been a really good thing that happened to the Bulldogs. I think that might have been a great scheduling thing for Coach Pizzato to have planned out for the team and let that game go on. But it started with Tenuta and Pons Jr. over Wheeler School Rocky Hill, 11-0. It moved on. Tenuta, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Gorman, home run. 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, power the Bulldogs to the victory. Shep Simmons had a double. Tenuta hit a 2-run homer in the 4th inning. Gorman at the time had raised his average to 487, now has a 522 average. But that game dropped West Warwick, and the Bulldogs moved to 13-1 and 11-0. The following game, Jack Tenuta again, and we all know what that was. That was pitching Westerly past Charahoe at Charahoe. And we get to last night. The story of Dean Bonds Jr. The Bulldogs win the day again is the headline. Top Chargers to stay unbeaten in Division II. Bonds fans 13, Gorman homers. That is the headline, was the headline. Athlete of the week is Dean Bonds Jr. Now we're going to see if somebody else can help out the Bulldogs and move along. Their bat's a little bit alive. They got a run in the bottom of the 1st, and the Knights are already in the box, number 7. And that is Tyler Muniz, a freshman. A lot of freshmen on the roster, a lot of juniors, and now that I look at it, they only are 1 senior on the team. Pools, first pitch, top of the 2nd inning, called strike. Looks like it's outside from my perspective, but the umpire is starting to get consistent with it. So as long as he does that, I don't complain. Then the pitchers can get into a zone and know what they're throwing at. Costa setting up a little bit away, inside pitch, strike, foul back, 0-2 count. Poole quickly ahead. Poole, a lot of whip on his arm, a tall guy, a lot of leg power, and high velocity fastball. And he can definitely pull the string on the breaking ball. There it is, right in the strike on strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, strikes him out for the 3rd strikeout of the day, out of 4 batters faced. Poole has started out with a hot hand, to say the least, folks. I am the voice, Greg Moreno, alongside producer, owner, Shane Belanger. We have Lisa behind the lens. We are Wesley.live, Wesley.radio, and we're getting fired up again at Similori Field. We're getting behind the freshman, Michael Poole. His pitch, called ball, just missed. Number 24 at bat for the Knights, James Smith, a sophomore. The Knights looking for their first win, but they only have 1 senior, folks. They are freshman laden. The future's unlimited. It's great to see a team like that and watch a team like that, and they're hanging around. Only 1 run in the 1st. Who knows? Poole, though, the hot hand right now to start. 1-1 the count, 1 down, nobody on. An open strike zone so far. High fastball gets him to pop up. Second baseman calling it for the Bulldogs. Loses it in the sun, and he's going to reach first base. It was called by the second baseman. Not much you can do for that. Nick Fiore lost it at the last second. Klein had backed off when it got called, so the Bulldogs allow their first base runner of the day. So we see Poole from the stretch for the first time. And the sun obviously is a factor. And cheers coming from the Knights dugout. You got to love it, folks. You got to love it. This team's playing. They got nothing to lose. And these are the dangerous games. You don't want to say that word trap. I think this team, like I said, is just a little bit above that level. And we got a freshman on the hill. And I say that with a freshman on the hill, he even has the composure. And that's going to be low. Count 1-1, 1 down, runner on first, 1 run in for the Bulldogs. We got 1 inning in the books. That's enough ones here at the top of the 2nd inning. Number 33 on the hill. Coming in, like I said earlier, with the 3.04 ERA, checks the runner at first base. A 3-1 record with a save. To his credit thus far this year as a freshman, that is highly impressive. The kick, the pitch, inside swings right back up the middle, off of his shin. They're not going to get anywhere. Unfortunately, it rolled up the mound. Took a funny hop, went off the shin of Poole. I don't know how the scorekeeper is going to score it. I give it a hit. Obviously, that's a little bit of a homer version, but that was a tough play for Poole to make. An unfortunate break, and that's 2 in a row. 2 tough breaks. First it was the sun. That one hit the rubber and took a funny bounce off of Poole's shin. 2 runners on, 1 down, and suddenly the Knights are in business. And a fastball to start, not hitting the call, a tick in the throw back by Costa. I don't think he agrees either. That looked like it was there, apparently a little bit high. So the Knights in business, folks. Let's see what they can do. They have me intrigued. Let's see if they can get me excited. Strike over the outside corner. I'm always excited when I'm watching the Bulldogs play, and I have to cross the platform. I couldn't be more excited for that ladies softball team over there without a senior on the squad. 10-2 in second place alone. And Poole's pitch, swing and a miss. Checks him at first and overthrows Klein. Would have had a good play, but the Bulldogs at the moment aren't playing their cleanest game as the runner scuttles his way into third base. Runners at the corners now with only one down. That runner on third base now can score with a sacrifice fly, which you can't do with a runner on second. So when there's only one out, it's worthwhile getting to third. Stealing third, getting there however you can. The rule is you never make the third out at third. So with only one out, they make their way to third. Runners on first and third. Swing and a miss. Steals second. Concha throws to the cutoff, and he lets it go through, and it goes to center field. And they're not sharp at all at the moment, and the ball game is tied 1-1. The Knights have arrived. I hear their fans. I hear their dugout, and now I'm fired up for a ball game tonight, folks. Nothing comes easy in sports. You fall into the trap that it may be easy. It may be quick mentally, but that's not how it works out. This is a weird game, folks. You play it on a diamond. You got a round ball and a round bat. You got to hit it square. All sorts of funky things can happen. And we got a 1-1 tie here in the top of the second inning. We got a ball game. The Knights looking for their first win with nothing to lose. One senior on the squad. Poole's pitch, swing and a miss. Nice pitch outside portion of the plate. Top of the first inning. If you're just joining us, folks, we are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio. We brought you some intense action last night, and we're here again. And we'll be back for some Saturday night prime time softball action. And a strikeout to end the inning for Poole, but you can tell the Bulldogs a little deflated. They didn't give up an earned run. Certainly there were several problems during that inning defensively for the Bulldogs. Let's see if they can put it behind them, which they often do. Let's see if they can tonight. That being said, Coach giving a few pointers out to number 6 on the hill, Joshua Savino Jr. for the Knights. Due up for the Bulldogs. I'm trying to see. I do believe they're in the bottom portion of the order. Well, like I said, we'll be back in business here at Similori Sports Complex, across the complex, Saturday night, 7 p.m. start, folks. Our website displays it. This is a 6 p.m. start. The baseball squad starts at 6, but that is a prime time 7 p.m. start, and that is a prime time game for the Lady Bulldogs. Quietly, the Bulldog volleyball team hanging on in their 9-3 record in third place in the division, and they are playing tonight, and they have a tough task ahead of them, playing first place unbeaten Mount St. Charles Co-op. So that being said, so much excitement in the home stretch of the spring sports season here at Westerly High School and Westerly.live, Westerly.radio. That's what we do. We bring you all the action. We're your only source for it. And the Knights are getting ready to throw down, and we're getting ready to start the bottom of the second inning, even at 1-1. And I honestly got to tell you, folks, I think if you ask any Bulldog in the dugout if they thought it was going to be even after one inning of play, they'd say no. But the Knights have arrived. Let's see if the Bulldogs' bats can answer. We know that they are capable of answering. But let's see if there's any kind of a hangover, because there's obviously a little bite back here in this Knight squad. They have no reason to quit, no reason to not play 100%. Evan Klein, senior, first baseman for the Bulldogs, leading off, top of the bottom of the second inning. Chance from both dugouts. And outside, 1-0 count. Savino doesn't like his landing point, fixes the mound, and gets to his ready. Has that tick that they're allowing go on, and that pitch looks up and in, and it is called a ball. 2-0. Klein ahead in the count. On deck for the Bulldogs, Nick Fiore, second baseman, lost in the sun in the top half of the inning, and that was the runner that ended up tying the ball game, started everything off. And then they took an unfortunate bounce off of the rubber, off of Poole's shin, followed by a throw that went through the intended target and the backup. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk, and that's the way to start the inning. That's a great at-bat by the senior Klein. Bulldogs, they need base runners to get runs. Obviously, leadoff runner reaches first. At-bat, Nick Fiore, the Bulldogs' second baseman, the senior. Number 4. Gets his signs from the coach and steps in. Klein takes his lead off first base. Obviously a little carefully with the lefty on the hill. And 3/4 runner throws it at the outside portion of the plate. Strike called. Doesn't look like the Bulldogs hitters love the strike zone, but I do believe that it's been pretty consistent. So Poole benefiting from whatever they believe Savino may be benefiting from. And not a big secondary. I don't think he's going very far. 2 strikes quickly. 0-2 count. Fiore down. Going to have to get the bat up and moving here. Checks first with a step back. Quick move by Savino. Still haven't seen his kick move, but with that high of an offering to home plate, if he wasn't a left-hander, it'd be a frenzy of stolen bases. But the fact that he's a lefty, that's the only thing that allows that. I don't know what allows that second step. And that's over the outside portion. Tried to frame it, couldn't. But like I said, there's a freshman behind the plate for this night's squad, one of many. Will it become a factor? We will see. It often does. And they steal second with Klein, and not even a throw. Nice secondary lead, obviously. When you don't even get a throw versus a lefty pitcher, that is one heck of a job of base running. Klein in scoring position with nobody out. The count even at 2-2. That's just good base running. That's good baseball IQ. Wasn't even challenged. Anybody on the squad can steal, and he takes strike 3. It looks inside to me, but all day long I'm going to knock it. Like I said, I can't complain. Unhappy with the call, the Bulldog hitter. We're back. We flipped the top, and Dean Pons Jr. steps in with a runner in scoring position. Top of the order, back up for the Bulldogs. Can they plate Klein and break this tie? And first pitch is away. And not leave another runner stranded on base. They have a couple, which happens every game, a few, maybe even a bunch. But last night was a gaggle, I guess we'll call it. It was a lot. The pitch. Right over the plate, swing and a miss. Just got a piece of it. 1-1 count on Pons. Runner at second base, Klein. On the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are at least 45 steals in without being thrown out. That number, that's got to be some kind of a record. Savino at the ready. The kick, the pitch. And swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. Pons walked in his first at bat, stole second, stole third, and then reached home. He is the Bulldogs' only run on a ground out to the shortstop. So he pretty much manufactured the run himself, earning the walk, stealing 2 bases, and then going home. Swing and a miss on the inside portion of the plate. Nice pitch by number 6, Joshua Savino. A tough one to hit. Would have been on the handles, but it's been called a strike all day long. You got to swing. So the Bulldogs with 2 out. Do they leave Klein on? No one better at bat, number 17, Greg Gorman. They say the powerhouse, but I've seen him hit with finesse as well. I've seen him hit it all over the park from the left field foul pole to the right field foul pole. I've seen it with power. I've seen it with finesse. He's just got an all-around beautiful swing. 1-0 the count. First base open. If I'm a Knight, I don't even pitch near him. I've seen pitchers make that mistake and pay dearly. That pitch outside hasn't tested him yet, hasn't even been close. It might be one of those intentional walks. And the pitch. And that's low and away. And it scuttles away, so Klein's going to get the third. 2 outs, still need a single to plate him. The count 3-0. The senior Greg Gorman batting .522. I don't really have to guess. I'm pretty confident he has the green light. They trust his judgment at the plate. You never put the brakes on a hitter of his caliber. Savino at the ready. The kick, the delivery. Over the plate, swings, gets under it. And it's a fly ball in the long foul territory and out of play completely. So the count goes to 3-2. 3-1, correction. Will they give him another pitch to hit? That was a little bit upstairs, and it stayed up. in the zone. Gorman decided to take a cut at it and maybe knock on a couple more runs for the Bulldogs. Let's see if he gets challenged on this 3-1 pitch. And he does not. So Gorman gets the freebie, gets the walk with the base open. Klein on third. And the shortstop, Zach Beckler, at bat for the Bulldogs. Comes in with a .404 batting average. Batting cleanup. He is sure-handed in the field and in the batter's box for the Bulldogs. Gorman takes his lead off of first. There's 2 outs. Runners at first and third. Gorman takes off the second. They throw right back to the pitcher. Doesn't trick him. Runners on second and third. So Beckler can plate 2 with a single. If it's placed properly, Gorman gets an excellent secondary. He is a good base runner. A high kick, delivery, over the plate, fouled away. 0-2, quickly ahead of Beckler. At the ready, Savino. Big spot here for the Bulldogs. And the pitch is low and in. Nice job by the freshman. Kudos to the freshman behind the plate. Just saved a run. Beckler, 1-2 count, 2 outs, first base open. You can kind of pitch around him, setting up outside as a freshman. He set up early. And he got a lot of the plate with that one. It's driven to the left and way over the left fielder. That is going to bounce and roll its way all the way to the fence. Scores both runners. And is he going to go to third? No. Stand up double for Zach Beckler. 2 RBIs, 3-1 Bulldogs lead. And no, it's not going to be another night of leaving runners on base for the Bulldogs. He got too much of the plate. And Beckler drives it way over the head. Left fielder had no chance, playing him way too shallow. He is the cleanup hitter. What a job by the Bulldog senior. And they are now ahead 3-1. And what a relief that's got to be, honestly, for the coaches and for everybody as well. That little cloud of leading runners on is officially over now. They played it 2, did it all with 2 outs. Now that monkey is off their back, they can move on. That's gone from yesterday, history now. Simmons, at bat, runner on second. Beckler on second with speed. And a nice job by the freshman. That freshman, Tyler Muniz, done a heck of a job. He's saved about 3 or 4 pitches thus far. Couple that would have saved runs, and that one that would have gotten Beckler to third. Beckler with speed will score on a single. Simmons with a single in his first at bat. Pitch up and away, kind of a pitch out. First base is open. Maybe remembering the line drive over the pitcher's head single. It was a nice piece of hitting by Simmons in his first at bat to center field. And a 3-0 pitch, he's going to third. The throw, no throw at all. Look at that. That is a beautiful primary, a beautiful secondary. You can steal third standing up. Simmons wisely holds his spot in the box during the steal, forcing the freshman to take the little crow hop behind him to get a throwing lane. By the time he did, there wasn't even a throw. Beckler was already popping up from his slide. Another successful steal for the Bulldogs. Pitch low, quick, a walk for Simmons, puts runners on the corners for the Bulldogs with 2 outs, and Jack Tenuta at bat. The sophomore star for the Bulldogs. 2 more years. Hard to believe when you watch him play. Hard to believe when you read the numbers in black and white, which I do when I'm reading them about. I print out numbers and read numbers just for my own enjoyment about this team, because sometimes they're almost like a video game. But Jack Tenuta having such a sophomore season for the Bulldogs. 3-1 lead, quick step back on Simmons. And the Bulldogs, that steal to third for Beckler, another successful steal. They're in the range between 45 and 48 now, I would say. But by the time this whole thing's over, I can't imagine the number. So, Tenuta, step back, throw to first again. They know he's probably going to take off. They know they can't throw to second. Beckler will score. So it's essentially going to put 2 runners in scoring position. And as a defense, as a pitcher, that's got to be so frustrating. You know it's going to happen, and you can do nothing about it, and you're a lefty. Might not happen this pitch, it does. Simmons takes off, and he gets by the catcher, run in. So too many times and to Simmons, 2 bases, and the Knights learn about the foul territory and the real estate that lies therein here at Similori Field for the first time today. Number 7, the freshman, having a great game so far. Muniz holding a lot of wild pitches from getting by him. That one gets by him. Those pitches, folks, aren't his fault. Those aren't pass balls. Those are wild pitches. That goes credit to the pitcher, not him. But either way, Simmons advanced from first all the way to third, and Beckler scores. And Tenuta popped up under him, and it's in that tough spot between right, second, and first, and it's fair. And that's going to be another RBI single. It doesn't matter how much you get of it. It doesn't matter how hard you hit it. It matters where it lands. And that goes in the books, just like a line drive RBI single for Tenuta. The Bulldogs, again, another runner not left on base. And that run scores because Simmons was smart enough to go from first to third on that pass ball. That's what it's all about here, folks, and that is why stepping in, Travis Costa, the Bulldogs catcher. What a better time to have him in when I'm talking about the importance of a catcher here at Similori Field. And another pass ball. Another one gets by him. A little frustration here by the Knights. Tenuta now in scoring position for the Bulldogs. So now Costa can plate Tenuta with a hit. Frustration is being worn on the sleeve of number 6, Savino, at this point. Now, Costa, I say he's the unsung hero, the dirt dog, the guy behind the plate. He knows if nobody's on, he has no need to dive and give his body up. But when there's runners on base, let me tell you, there's no one better. In the box, the pitch, away. First base vacant. Again, you can be finicky if you want. As a young pitcher and as the season's gone for these Knights so far, I'm imagining to get in the head of the pitcher he wants to get out of the inning. And that's right over the heart of the plate, swing and a miss, and that's the pitch is indicative of that. They're not going to pitch around Costa, even though first base is open. The score, folks, 5-1. Bulldogs have exploded here in the bottom of the second inning for 4 runs, all 2-out runs. They're not leaving guys on. The hex is off their back end, a swing foul, and the count 2-2. The hex is off their back, whatever little monkey on their back from last night, runners left on in a win, is all said and done. The 2-2 pitch, 2 outs in the second, 5-1 Bulldogs lead. A little bit of an overcast cover coming in, and that's going to be high and away. We're going to get a full count here to Costa with first base open, and it looks like he's not giving him much to hit either. On deck, Trey Rex this for the Bulldogs. And the pitch, and that's going to hit Costa, and he is going to take first base. And Tenuta's going to have to probably go back to second because it hit him. And he's hoping that it was a pass ball. He was going to round third and go home. Let's see what the ruling on the field is. Was that a pass ball or did it hit him? Umpires are going to discuss it. They don't know. And if they don't know, I don't know. And if I don't know, I can't tell you. If it's a pass ball, then Tenuta will remain at third base. If not, if he hit Costa, then he's got to go back to second. And they're going to let him stay at third. So that was just a ball 4, pass ball, and Jack Tenuta advances to third, wisely, with 2 outs. So the Bulldogs, again, with 2 runners on, 2 outs, have already scored 4 2-out runs here. Rextis is up again, his second at bat for the game. And the Bulldogs have had first and third several times here, and they have taken off immediately on the first pitch each time. And they do here a late break, doesn't throw all the way through, right back to the pitcher. And now suddenly, again, the Bulldogs with 2 in scoring position. So the Bulldogs have come alive here in the bottom of the second inning. And how much does it take to break the back of a team that's looking for their first win? It's been a long year. And a swing and a miss by Rextis. 0-2 the count with 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning. Bulldogs have plated 4 in this half of the inning. They have answered any questions about runners left on. They have done it all throughout the lineup thus far, have had contributions. And in the dirt, nice stop by the freshman, saved another run. I'm saying that a lot. And we'll see how much that affects the Bulldogs' opponents moving forward this season in the playoffs. I want to move forward in the season about their schedule coming up. because it doesn't get any easier for the Bulldogs. Let me tell you, swing and a miss, and that's going to be the end of the inning. After 2 innings of play here at Similori Field, the Bulldogs 5, the Knights 1. The Bulldogs offense comes alive in the bottom of the second inning. Poole takes the rubber here for the top of the third. The freshman, having given up 1 unearned run, now has 4 insurance runs to his back, as he will just throw a few in. Costa was left on base. Then there obviously was a couple of runners left on base that inning, but that stat doesn't matter because they scored 4 runs with 2 outs and did their job. So the Bulldogs up 5-1. We're between innings here, and this production is brought to you in part by Remy Cycles, bicycle sales and service in downtown Westerly, 53 Railroad Avenue, cycling accessories, clothing, safety gear, the latest in electric bike technology, stellar customer service, everything needed to enjoy your cycling adventures. Teddy's Toy is also located in downtown Westerly at 53 Railroad Avenue. Modern toys, classic toys, board games, model building, stuffed animals. Valenti Subaru sales and service located at Dunn's Corners, Westerly RI. Valenti means value. With over 90 years in the auto business, the Valenti family knows how to keep customers happy. Service with honesty, integrity, and a smile are the cornerstone our business is built upon. As Costa heads in and Poole will get a few real pitches, I will get to a few more local sponsors. McQuaid's Ace Hardware, your local family-owned hardware store located on Franklin Street in Westerly RI. Everything you need this spring for yard cleanup and home cleaning. Mulch, lime, fertilizers, lawnmowers, power tools, and hand tools. If they don't sell it, folks, you don't need it. Wireless Zone, your Verizon authorized retailer, located in Dunn's Corners next to Duncan. Cell phone sales, service, and repair. Trade in your old phone and get up $700 off your new phone with trade-in. Switch from current provider and get your new phone for free with trade-in. And here we go. Top of the third inning, folks. 5-1 Bulldogs lead. Bulldogs come into the game 13-0, unbeaten in the division. 15-1 overall, and now hold a 4-run lead with 2 innings in the books. As it gets a little cloud cover here. Pitch number 1 of the third inning, up and in for a swing and a miss. Strike 1. Number 3, Dylan Lynch, a junior for the Knights. The righty in with an 0-1 count. The kick from Poole. And that same spot, up and in, and another swing and a miss. Same result. Quickly ahead, 0-2. So Poole's got 1 unearned run. The Bulldogs to their credit, and that's going to be a check swing he couldn't hold up. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and he fans the first batter. 1 up, 1 down as the Bulldogs throw it around. Poole doing a nice job here tonight. Hasn't been in much trouble. A couple funky things occurred for the Knights to have played as a run, but a good job by them to do so. Number 16 for the Knights steps in the lefty. And the leadoff hitter grounded to Klein in the first inning. 1-0 the count. The kick and the delivery. And that is over for a strike. 1-1 the count. 1 out. Nobody on. As Poole seems to have his complacency and comfort on the hill early in this one. Foul back. 1-2. Nobody on, 1 out. Count is 1-2. Bulldogs with a 4-run lead here in the top of the third. Poole's pitch, inside portion of the plate. Nice stop by Costa. And as I said earlier, folks, big game going on across the complex. The lady softball team, as you can see, all the cars having a fantastic season. The team doesn't have a senior on the squad, and they go into tonight's action with a 10-2 league record. We'll be over there Saturday night, prime time action. A huge game for the Lady Bulldogs, and we will bring it to you live at 7 p.m. That is 7 p.m. from Similori Field. Poole, the full count, 1 out, nobody on. Right over the playground ball, high hop to Beckler. Gets it, throw to first on time to Klein, and the Bulldogs retire 2 up, 2 down, and they throw it around. So nobody on and 2 outs for the Bulldogs. Poole would love to see a 1-2-3 third inning. Hasn't thrown too many pitches here thus far in this one. He is stretching out, I've noticed, throughout the game. Lefty number 6, Joshua Savino, the pitcher for the Knights, steps in. Pitcher versus pitcher, first pitch, low and in. And Poole's 1-0 offering. And that's a swing to the left field, sprayed, and that's going to be out of play. 1-1's the count. Getting back to the Lady Bulldogs, they're in second place. In third place, right behind them, is Prout, and they have already beat Prout one time, and they're 2 games ahead of the following team. So Middletown is right behind them, and they beat them 2-1 last night across the complex while we were here on a fantastic finish to pitch. Swing ground ball in between third and Beckler at short, and that's going to be a single. Nice piece of hitting by Savino to help his own cause reach his first base. So last night while we were here, we didn't see the fireworks that were happening over there. They had a bottom of the 7th inning wild pitch finish, and the Bulldogs won in 2-1 score over Middletown, who was chasing them for second place. So now the Bulldogs own second place alone, having beaten Prout and Middletown. Pools first offering a swing foul ball inside pitch, number 20 at bat, Austin Hawaii, the lone senior for the Knights. 2 outs, runner at first. 0-1 count. Poole from the stretch. Checks first. High kick. Nice pitch. Called strike. Costa framed it just enough, and it's quickly up. 0-2 here on the senior. From the set. Paying really no attention to the runner. No need at the moment. High and away. Good eye by the senior with an 0-2 count. Tough pitch to lay off. Good job doing so. That pitch is always appealing, that high. And the 1-2 offering, 2 outs. Can he end the inning with it? Swing and a miss, he does. So 3 innings, 3 offensive innings, that is, in the books for the Knights, and they trail by 4. The Bulldogs will take their turn at the stick. The last batter last inning, I believe, was Nick Fiore. So we're going to spin the top, and Dean Pons Jr. should lead off for the Bulldogs, if I am not mistaken, which I could be. But going into the bottom half of the 3rd inning here, folks, at Similori Field, the Bulldogs with a 5-1 lead, looking to go 14-0 in the division and 16-1 overall. What numbers they are putting up, what a machine they have put together thus far, but just you got to hold the phones because they host Exeter today, and then they're going to head to Exeter. They got 3 days off, which is always a good thing to get your legs back. It's always good for your pitchers to have that kind of a break after back-to-back games like they've had against Charahoe last night and today. And they'll face Exeter on the 16th. Then they will host West Warwick on the 18th. Okay, from there, nothing against West Warwick. They got a quality opponent there. But from there, they host Johnston. They played Johnston 2 times. Let me talk about Johnston a little bit, as Johnston in the league is chasing them with only 1 loss behind them, and they've played last game, so they're percentage points behind the Bulldogs. Technically, the Bulldogs have played 5 or 6 more games, which gives them the heavy edge. But they have to face Johnston 2 times in the final 4 games. And then their last game of the season is versus South Kingston. And going into last night, South Kingston was 10-3 in Division 1 and in second place in Division 1. So nothing too easy on the home stretch heading into the playoffs. These Bulldog team can't afford to back in. They have to go in full throttle. So, back to the issue at hand, right in front of us. We're heading to the bottom of the 3rd. Bulldogs turn at bat with a 4-run lead. Bulldogs doing a great job not leaving runners on base in the 2nd inning. Let's see who's leading off here. It's going to be Evan Klein, the first baseman, leading off, who manufactured a walk in his last at-bat and made his way over here on the bases. Actually, he stole second. Pass ball got him to 3rd, and sac fly brought him in. So a little punch and Judy baseball for that run. Savino taking all the warm-up pitches, the throw to second from the freshman. And Klein will take his space in the box for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Let's see if the offense keeps their foot on the pedal, as they usually do. This team doesn't get complacent. You can't afford to, and if they did, they wouldn't be 13-0. Complacency doesn't equal victories. Savino's first offering decline. The senior inside pass ball, and that almost hit the senior. Want to know the count. So we have chants coming from the Bulldogs dugout. They are alive here. And the pitch is way outside. Quickly ahead, 2-0 is Klein, who has a good eye at bat. And the senior undoubtedly has the green light. I talk about baseball IQ, and Coach Posado talks about how his team across the board, across the platform, has a high one, and that pitch is blowing in as well all the way to the backstop. So having a difficult time finding the plate at the moment. 3-0 is the count to lead off the bottom of the third inning. Having tacked on 4 in the bottom of the second is not a good way to start if you're a Knight. Leadoff walks often, if not a heavy majority, come back to haunt a pitcher. 3-1. Klein takes one on the inner portion. Still a hitter's count. No doubt Savino doesn't want to give a free pass, so this might be a layup. Let's see if Klein gets one. And it is swing and a high hopper to short, who takes it on the run and throws the missile to first, and safe is the call. Klein outruns it. What a hustle. Nice play by the shortstop, number 24, taking it on a high hop on a run. The overhand missile throw, and you can see on the replay freeze frame, nice call by the umpire, by the official. Safe at first base he was. What a replay. You only get stuff like that from Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, folks. And Nick Fiore steps in. So Klein now has a walk and a single in the past 2 innings to his credit. Fiore steps in, and the Bulldogs are in action here in the bottom of the third. And first pitch swinging, fouls it back. Fiore a little bit frustrated, as you can see him shaking his head. And cheers coming from the Bulldogs dugout as they have awoken. They don't go dormant for long. All the numbers that I read off here are proof that they don't go dormant for long. And second pitch called strike. If you're unhappy with that call as well. Quickly down 0-2. No outs. Klein at first base for the Bulldogs. Savino steps back, throws to first. Not an easy up. Haven't seen his kick move. Have seen that step back. He has a high kick to home, so it's hard to disguise a move to first with your kick using a high kick. So that may be his primary move, the step back. And I can see that, and a ground ball that might go between, and the shortstop scoops up to get the second on time, and this time he does. And the out is called, ground out to shortstop, so that's going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice for out number 1 for the Knights. Nice job by Savino. Tried to pull the outside pitch. Fiore didn't get quite enough on it. If you had gone with it, it would have gone to the right side with a little bit more pepper. Here we go. We've spun the top. Dean Pounds Jr. at bat. Fiore at first base due to the fielder's choice. 1 out for the Bulldogs. Step back move to first. Fiore down and in easily. A good primary lead he takes. And here's where the Bulldogs' aggression on the base path takes hold in the game. Right now there's a runner on first, not in scoring position. The pitcher knows that instantly he can get in scoring position, and I can see this pitcher's tell. His bottom foot goes past his post leg, and that's why he doesn't do a very good kick move. He does that step back because once your bottom foot clears your launch leg, you have to go home or else it's a balk. So in order to go to first base, your front foot, being your right foot, cannot go behind your back leg. And I see it go back. He's coming home. Steal of second. The throw is not going to be on time. It's a dead giveaway, and that's why all these runners are getting a great jump. So second base, another runner in scoring position. Another stolen base for the Bulldogs. Fiore now at the ditch for Pons, who's in the box with an 0-1 count. Tack on another stolen base for the Bulldogs. And the kick, pitch, upstairs, ball. 1-1 count. Savino gets the sign. Fiore takes his lead. The pitch, and that almost hits him. 2-1 count. Pons wants to swing the bat. When you're as effective and as good as him, you always want to take the bat off your shoulders when you can. 2-1 count from Savino. And he gets under it, pop-up. We got a call from first base. And finally calls off everybody. Nice job by the first baseman to do it. There was definitely confusion at first, so the unassisted out. So that'll be a 3 unassisted for the second out of the inning. Fiore at second base. We're just waiting for a hit. Let's see if Beckler can deliver. Greg Gorman at bat for the Bulldogs. We know he has the capacity. Can he do it again? If I am the Knights, I do not challenge. First base open. The pitch. inside, and the check swing goes forward. Worst thing that could have happened for Gorman. Throw out at first easily. He didn't like it. He held the swing back at the inside pitch. The cut on the fastball makes contact with his bat. Easy out, easy end of the inning, and no more runs for the Bulldogs. So we put 3 in the books here, folks. Bulldogs 5, Exeter-West Greenwich 1, and we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back. Tough spot, a lot of real estate, and it's going to fall. And over the time, Bulldogs did, Chargers way inside, running. Pitch was, I think, a little bit too far inside. Slides in, safe. Conscious throw was right on the money, but he had to take that in. He's going to go for third, and the throw. We have a play at third, and the throw bounced up too high, slides in, and Gorman wisely follows the throw to second base. Now the pitch inside, and they're going to throw through. It's on the mark. The scoop, and he's out. Safe. Calls him safe. Good slide. Got under it. Oh, they kicked the ball loose. I did not see. And the pitch, breaking ball. He drives it to left center. Center fielder tracking in. Nobody's there. Diving attempt. And did he come up with it? Holy cow! And breaking for second. Costa gets a throw. And he's got him there, I think. And he does. Costa plays his tail beautifully. Water takes it, fires to first, 18, and they're going to go to third with it. And he is fired out by the Bulldogs, but the ball comes loose. And he is out anyway. And the outside pitch driven deep to right. And that's out of here, folks. And I told you it's a dangerous place to park. And just like that, the round tripper, touch 'em all, Greg Gorman. I said he had 4. Now he's got 5, folks. That quick, the Bulldogs take a 2-0 lead. And holy smokes, that's how you start it. The rivalry, the moment. And welcome back, folks. Pool's first offering here at the top of the 4th inning. To number 7, Tyler Munoz, one of the many freshmen that are here for the Knights, leading off the top of the 4th inning. A nice job by the Knights pitcher, Joshua Suino, getting out of a little bit of a jam in the bottom half of the 3rd. Poole, a freshman on the hill. You would never know by looking at Poole by his size. He stands large. He's a commanding presence, and you can see the size difference, freshman versus freshman, right here, especially standing up on a hill. He looks like a monster compared to the batters. That pitch inside and not getting the call. 2-1 the count. So while we were at break, you saw the highlights from last night's exciting victory over local rival, the Charahoe Chargers, in a huge game. Electricity all over the field, both sides of the field, packed house, and we expect nothing less. Prime time Saturday night, folks. Don't forget, 7 p.m. As I see cars departing, that game might have come to a conclusion as we speak. That pitch over the plate. Oh, doesn't get the call. That looked like it was right there. So a leadoff walk, not ideal for Poole, not what you'd like to do, but Poole's steady with his head, so from the stretch he'll go. Generally, pitchers have more, well, they say have more accuracy during this from the stretch, but it also takes a little bit off of your pitch. With the stride, launch, and length to his arms, I don't think Buck takes it off. Checks first. Nice job by Klein of retrieving it and not letting it get by him. Whereas the runner can almost advance 2 bases.
You're coming that day, right?
So in the box, number 24, James Smith, a sophomore for the Knights. Poole checks the runner out first. A good primary. And strike. Lets it go over the plate. Not much on that one. Let a little bit off.
27.
0-1 count. Nobody out here. Top of the 4th inning. Almost reaching the halfway mark in this one. And that one is over the outer portion of the plate, called strike. And this one in what the Bulldogs hope turns into their 14th league victory and their 16th victory overall. And possibly a further grasp on first. Depending on whatever happens around the league, that's a foul ball out of play. 0-2 the count. Poole quickly ahead after the 4-pitch walk. As I said, I didn't believe it would affect him. He doesn't play like a freshman. The only freshman the Bulldogs carry on their lineup compared to 7. Got the nice stretch. He's still in second. Costa's throw's not going to get there off the mark, and it gets by the backup all the way to center field, who stumbles with it, but they don't advance to third. So a stolen base against the Bulldogs, and Poole with that high kick. You're going to see that. That's going to happen. You take the good with the bad, and you work on that as he develops his years in high school as a pitcher. Well, he does have a high kick, does offer the opportunity to challenge, and at times doesn't give the catcher much of an opportunity. 1-2 the count And the breaking ball low and in. Now it's back to 2-2.
Yeah.
Smith, a sophomore, right-hander, seeing if he can play the run with a single. Nobody out. And fastball in the middle of the play, got under it. Being tracked in the tough spot. Beckler makes the call and vacuums it up to 6 unassisted for the first out of the inning, and no movement on the base pass. So Poole induces the pop out. Nice job for the first out of the inning. Number 12 heads in the box for the Knights. Caden Landy, a freshman. So freshman versus freshman. Poole getting his sign, and it's a loud dugout the Knights have. They are all in on this one. Swing and a miss, and a hard cut at that. And when I say they're all in, they got nothing to lose. There is no pressure. Go out there, take cuts, swing with everything you got, every pitch. Steal bases, why not? What do you have to lose? And those can be the buzzsaws that teams like up top can run into and can create a problem. Nice breaking ball, pulls the string. Batter keeps the bat on his shoulders, quickly up 0-2 with 1 out, runner on second. The kick and the pitch, breaking ball again, doesn't come back enough, it does. He pulls the string twice in a row. Gets the strikeout, second out of the inning. Number 8 steps in for his turn. 2 outs, runner at second, top of the 4th. And pitches outside. And you hear the cheers from the dugout. That is the Knights side of things. The kick and the pitch over the plate. Ground ball to second base. Fiore vacuums it up, throws the first, and that's going to end the 4th inning of play. So the Bulldogs, it's going to end 3.5 innings of the play and the Knights portion of the 4th. So we are halfway through this one. This is the high school 7th inning stretch, I guess. And the Bulldogs will get their turn at bat with a 5-1 lead in the bottom of the 4th inning, as Poole has 4 innings in the books with no earned runs given up, having a nice night on the rubber and not a high pitch count either. He did walk that leadoff, got regrouped immediately, and did not have to throw a lot of pitches to recover from the leadoff walk. So heading to the bottom of the inning, we are around the area of Zach Beckler in the middle meat of the Bulldogs lineup. I don't know where the meat of the lineup is, 1 through 9. Every one of them can contribute at such a high level. Let's see if the Bulldogs can tack on a few more. And that is going to be Beckler leading off for the Bulldogs, their cleanup hitter. And Beckler got a hit in his last at bat and made his way around the bases and scored for one of the Bulldogs' 4 runs in the 3rd inning. Same pitcher, Savino, in for the Knights. He has thrown quite a few pitches. This may be his last inning, I would imagine, depending on how it goes. Maybe they'll put him out there for more. These young guys can throw forever. But with his arm angle, one would think they would keep the pitch count, I don't know, nearly below the century mark probably. And he is a junior, though, so he knows his arm at this point in his career. And they'll throw one more, he'll wind up, and the Bulldogs will get their turn at bat. This production brought to you in part by Strategia, website design and maintenance, social media management, search engine optimization, local company with local strategies to help your company stand out on the web. That's Strategia, folks. Shortstop number 21, Zach Beckler, steps in, lead off for the Bulldogs. As the Knights throw it around, and Savino returns to the rubber. He's got 3 innings in the book, 5 runs have plated. And the first pitch of the inning. And Beckler takes it where he wants to in the gap. And no one's going to get there. That's going to be at least a double. It splits the right fielder and the center fielder. And he is going to hold up at second, a leadoff stand-up double for Beckler, who is having a day at the plate. A nice day defensively as well for the Bulldogs. So altogether a nice game for number 21, Zach Beckler for the Bulldogs. their cleanup hitter. Simmons at bat. Also having a good day at the dish for the Bulldogs. Number 10, their third baseman. Nobody out. Runner in scoring position at second base. Savino in a jam early here in the bottom of the fourth. Right over the meat of the plate, and he's swinging, and the second baseman can't handle it. In the same area, they're going with the pitches, and that's going to play exactly. We have a play at the plate. The throw's not going to get there. It's going to get by the catcher, and Savino backs him up, but Simmons wisely goes to second. As the throw went through to home, he advanced to second. He went with it. I don't know if you give him a hit on that one. Both batters go to the same area, power alley opposite center, right center field. They go with the pitches, which were just fastballs over the outer portion of the plate. What a way to start the inning for the Bulldogs, who now have a 6-1 lead. Runner at second and nobody out with Jack Tenuta at bat. And he can add on easily for the Bulldogs. So Savino, not the way he wanted to start this half of the fourth, and I had said I thought this may be his last inning, and that is if he gets through it. Let's see what the Bulldogs can do. The pitch is low. Called a strike. 1-1 count. Simmons takes his lead off second. Savino ready on the hill, the pitch. And Tenuta gets under that one. For the second time tonight, he has popped up. Shortstop calling it for the Knights. And he takes care of it, 6 unassisted for the first out of the inning. But the Bulldogs have contributors from all over the field. You hear me saying a lot of these players with their high number averages and leaving other players out, this and that. They get contributions from number 1 through 9 in a variety of games, in a variety of different ways. They don't lean on just one player. They have a 6-1 lead here tonight. And none are via the long ball. And the first pitch to Costa. Nice pitch. Outside corner of the plate. 0-1 count. 1 out, runner in scoring position. The Bulldogs have plated 1 run here in the bottom of the fourth already. Increase their lead to 5. Shep Simmons at second base for the Bulldogs. They've stolen third a couple times. Pons has done it twice on his own. And a swing and a miss for Costa. 0-2 the count. Quickly down 0-2. And Savino at the ready. Good lead at second. No one holding him on. And he's going to take third. And fouled back, but he would have had third. I had just mentioned they had taken third a few times, and they were going to try it again. And the Bulldogs batters are wise enough. They'll stay in the box. As long as you're in the box, you can stay wherever you want on a steal. And if you're a righty and you're at bat and someone's stealing third, it's kind of your job to stay in the box, force the catcher to step out to throw. Bulldogs have done it a few times tonight, and they were going to then. And that pitch is in the dirt for a ball, 1-2 count. First base available. Rextis on deck for the Bulldogs. And the pitch is going to be inside. And called strike 3. Generous call for certain, and that's the second out of the inning. Simmons at second base. Let's see if Rextis can play him or advance him or find his own spot on first base. One of the 3. 2 outs. Bottom half of the fourth inning, 6-1 score. Bulldogs ahead. Bulldogs looking to go 14-0 in the division. Johnston is lurking, having only played 9 or 10 games, and the Bulldogs, this will be about their 16th game on the season, their 17th game. So there's a huge difference in win totals. But as far as loss totals go, they only have 1 league loss. And the Bulldogs are yet to face them. They will face them 2 out of their next 3 games. Correction, out of their last 3 games. And that pitch is low. So Rextis ahead 3-0 with first base open. They're not giving him too much to hit. Evan Klein on deck for the Bulldogs, who has reached in his last 2 at-bats. Squares the bunt, pulls back, trying to distract the pitcher a little bit. 3-1 the count. 2 down. Runner on second. Senior first baseman Evan Klein on deck for the Bulldogs. First base is vacant. The pitch, he's stealing third, and he hits it right back up the middle. It bounces over the pitcher. Can they get it? Nice job by the shortstop running, and the throw to first base. He is out. Nice play by the Knights shortstop ends the inning. No further damage. One more run in for the Bulldogs. However, we have 4 innings in the books. Bulldogs 6, Knights 1. And Poole heads back to the hill. His pitch total not too high tonight, folks. He's got a lot more gas in the tank. We'll see how much further Savino can go for the Knights and what they have for relief work. What we're seeing tonight, though, is a lot of contribution from a lot of the other guys on the squad, and it's really good to see. It really is. And you've seen a lot of that ever since that Waterford game. I have 4 or 5 newspaper articles of different people contributing to Bulldogs' victories. They haven't lost since then. They hope not to today. And then they have a few days to get their legs back under them. So Poole warming up, heading into his 5th inning. Heading into the game, he's 3-1 with a 3.04 ERA. He has 4 innings pitched under his belt today with no earned runs given up. So that'll put him under the 3 mark. 3 wins, 1 loss with a save for a freshman. That's fantastic, especially on the caliber club that he's on. I mean, to crack the starting lineup, to crack the lineup alone, and be a part of this team as a freshman is impressive. But to get your turn to operate and to get out there on a regular basis and be a weapon for this team, that kid's got a heck of a future, let me tell you. And he is just that. He's a weapon. He can start, he can come in at middle relief, long relief, and he can close. He seemingly is comfortable in all positions. No matter where you put him in the game, he produces, and that's what he's done tonight. So there's a little discussion. Probably, I think it's some kind of a lineup change between the Knights coach and the home plate umpire. They'll get that sorted out. The Bulldogs are ready to go here, though, in the top of the 5th inning, and so are we. And they have it sorted out, and the umpires seem to be ready as well. It looks like everybody's going to man their spot as we head to the top half of the 5th. I'm the voice, Greg Morano, alongside producer, owner Shane Belanger. We have Lisa behind the lens. We are Westerly.live, Westerly.radio, bringing it to you live from Similori Field, folks. Bulldogs baseball, first place in the division, 14-0, looking to go 13-0 in the league, looking to go 14-0, looking to go 16-1 overall. Freshman Michael Poole on the hill, pitch, swing and a miss, 0-1 count. We just watched their ace, Dean Pons Jr. last night, folks, take the rivalry game on his back and take it home. The offense wasn't quite in stride last night, left a lot of runners on, but with him on the hill, it was no problem. Bulldogs took the game. Moving forward, here we are. Another swing and a miss, so 1-2 count. Quickly ahead is Poole. Quietly has a decent strikeout total here tonight. Not too many base runners, not too many pitches. And a swing and a miss. Strikeout, leadoff man, and the Bulldogs will throw it around. 1 up, 1 down for the Knights. And Poole still in a groove for the Bulldogs as he starts out the 5th inning here now. And number 22 steps in the box, Tyler Unzler, a junior for the Knights. Folks, there's so much electricity here at Similori Sports Complex. I got to say complex because the 2 fields are both producing great results on the field. The Lady Bulldogs, if you hadn't tuned in earlier, that team doesn't have a senior on the team. They only have a few juniors. Their pitcher, Sophie Valentini, is just such a fantastic pitcher, one of the better pitchers in the state as a sophomore. So wait till the future, but the future's now. They're 10-2. They're in 2nd place. The 2 teams behind them, Prout and Middletown, they've defeated. Middletown last night right here, 2-1, bottom of the last inning, wild pitch victory. 2-1, Valentini only giving up 1 run. And they're producing unbelievable results, and we got them prime time, folks, Saturday night, 7 p.m. Tune in. We'll be there right across the complex. Lady Bulldog fast pitch softball. What an unexpected, I would have to say, season that they are having. You'd figure it's a rebuilding, regrouping year with a couple juniors, sophomore-laden team, and a few freshmen scattered in. Nope, not happening. They're answering the bell now. And here is Poole with a tough call there. Another ball, 2-1 is the count here. 1 down, nobody on for the Knights. 6-1 score here in the top of the 5th inning as shade starting to cast its way on the field. And a little spin on that pitch. Swing and fouled straight back. 2-2 the count. Could get a little tricky with the shade coming in different areas. Lights turned on. And the pitch, breaking ball, strike 3. And what a tough one when he can control that, folks. That break so late, he just pulls that string at the last second. Looks like it's a ball, and whoop, nope, not anymore. And he's a freshman, and he's got control of that hook. And let me tell you, he's got a powerful fastball. The whip he can create with that length of a body. The four seam is obviously going to be his weapon, but when you have that pitch right there, that curveball, these batters right now don't know what to do with it. They leave their back on the bat on their shoulders because it comes from nowhere near a strike and right back through the zone. 0-1 count, 2 outs, and another one. Why not? He let it go, but he doesn't get the call. The batter actually bailed out of that one. Nobody on, 2 outs, 1-1 count. Poole starting to feel the flow. The freshman producing for the Bulldogs. And a swing and a miss. Foul back, actually, on the inner portion of the plate, 1-2. Looking to get out of this inning quickly. 1-2-3 style is the freshman, Michael Poole. And the delivery, the pitch, and that's a breaking ball as he waves that and gets a little piece of, does he? Yes, he does. So he'll be alive, and that's about all you're going to get out of that kind of an offering. They really do not know what to do with that breaking ball. Count 1-2. Wouldn't be shocked to see it again right here. And Poole's pitch, fastball, and he drives it to center field. And for a single, would have been better served throwing that breaking ball. Leaves him a fastball, 1-2 count, right up the middle. Nice job of hitting. Drove that ball into center field for a solid single. And the Knights have a 2-out base runner here in the top of the fifth. Are they in business? We'll find out. The pitcher, Savino, at bat. Can he help his own cause and crack into the scoring book here? They haven't scored since the first inning. So the Bulldogs have 4 scoreless innings going into this one. Poole, a quick glance at first, stealing second. It's the hook. Nope. Comes back for a strike. He pulls back at first, doesn't take the base. Got the Bulldogs to call it. So the lefty right up on the plate. Often an indication that a batter might run. Not a lead at all there, though. And the fastball, Poole was probably thinking the same thing, but with that short of a lead, I wouldn't even worry about the runner. Count 1-1, 2 outs, 5-run lead. Pitcher versus pitcher. The freshman versus the junior. And that's a breaking ball outside corner strike. He does have control of that right now, let me tell you. And it is frustrating the Knights batters. Last time, same count, he went to the fastball. Gave up a single. What does he do this time? Hey, he throws a breaking ball, waved that, swing and a miss, hit the ground. He is out already. And he goes to the breaking ball on that one for the swing and the miss to end the inning in style. So through 4.5 innings of play, the Bulldogs with a 5-run advantage, getting set to take their turn at the dish here in the bottom of the 5th inning, looking to try to create even more space between them and second place, but that's all out of their hands. They're doing their job at home. Like I said, they have a 3-day gap, and then they hit the road and they head to Exeter. After that, there's no more jokes. They're not backing in. It's full speed ahead in the playoffs. And again, the coach talking to the umpires. I got a one-adventure, I guess. He's unhappy about something, as they were speaking about before the inning ends, and they spoke about again. Nobody on the rubber. Savino returning to the rubber, so pitch count not an issue at the moment, obviously. Last night, Pons threw his complete game. And Poole looking to duplicate that tonight for the Bulldogs. And when you can say that about a freshman, I guess you would say he's your number 3 in your rotation. If you have a solid 3 pitchers, that's pretty good that's excellent at the high school level. If you have 3 pitchers you can trust. So getting Poole as much work as they can during the regular season, they're going to need that third arm clearly in the playoffs. And it looks like he's going to get the nod as that third go-ahead guy. They have other arms that can throw, but their 1-2 punch could turn into a 1-2-3 punch. So Savino warming up again. Having given up 6 runs, not all earned, but most. I do believe 5 earned. And leading off for the Bulldogs, the senior, number 11, first baseman, Evan Klein, who has had a great day so far, both defensively and offensively. He's reached base in a variety of ways, walks, hits, stolen bases. He's made plays defensively. He's done his job at first base. So he's played senior-like baseball. And that's what I mean by the trust factor. You can trust all these guys, all these cogs in this big Bulldog wheel, no matter where you put one, here, there, the other. It doesn't matter the game. Everybody is capable of contributing. And in the games that they burst out for 15 runs or more, whatever, everybody did. And then there's games that some people are a little bit off their stride and some people step up. But they all seem to do it for each other on this squad, and that's what they've put together, the campaign they're putting together. 1-0 the count, a loud Bulldog dugout. Savino gets his sign. Got to be tiring. And the delivery. Klein goes to right field, got a little bit under a tough spot. Right fielder's tracking it. Fair or foul, foul ball. Long run for the players. Long strike. 1-1 count. We are in the bottom half of the fifth inning here, folks. Live at Similori Field. Bulldog baseball. Bulldogs lead 6-1, looking for their 14th league victory, 16th overall. Undefeated in the league. And Savino's pitch breaks down and in. Ball, 2-1. Klein, a very smart hitter, will make you throw strikes. Savino's kick. The pitch, that's right over the plate, gets under the same kind of spray fly. This one's in that triangle. Can they get there? What a play! Did he hold on to it? Holy smokes, nice basket catch by the second baseman for the Knights. Willie Mays style, I can tell if it fell through the glove, hit the ground, he just scoop catch that nice over the shoulder. He didn't catch that. He was at first base. My fault. I saw the base umpire call out. So that fell for a hit. That would have been a heck of a catch. That is my mistake. So Klein finds that little Bermuda triangle and makes his way to first base again. He's reached base in his last 3 at-bats. It doesn't matter how hard you hit it as long as you find the right spot. Fury in the box for the Bulldogs. And Klein taking his lead off first. That's a single. That didn't touch anyone's gloves, so it's a single the soft way. And they turn, line drive to left field. Fiore singles his way. The Bulldogs' first 2 batters have reached base. And they are back in business here in the bottom of the 5th. Solid single by number 4, Nick Fiore. And they have spun the top. Dean Pons Jr. steps in for the Bulldogs. Savino looking in the dugout in a little bit of a jam here, folks. He has thrown a lot of pitches. Pons Jr. in the box. Low and in. Takes ball 1. And he will make you throw strikes. And he'll make you pay for throwing strikes. Tough spot to be in if you're a pitcher. Good leadoff second by Klein. Holds the shortstop. And that's tail away. Ball 2. 2-0 is the count. And there's really not room. You don't want to walk anybody. I mean, look who he's got in the on-deck circle. It's not a friendly face if you're a visiting team. Stays away. 3-0 the count. Greg Gorman on deck. A walk would load him up for him with no outs. You saw the Bulldogs in that position last night a couple times. It didn't work out great for him last night, but they have scored with runners on in much better fashion here tonight. And he's going to take that pitch wisely. Just lets him throw a strike. 3-1. Still got to be his pitch. Pond steps in. Savino in a little bit of trouble here. Checks the runner at second. Kick. Delivery. Stays away. Walk. Bases are loaded, folks. Greg Gorman steps to the plate for the Bulldogs. You can't pitch around him. You can't intentionally walk him. Well, you know what? He's the type of batter you might want to walk in the run. You got to pitch to him here, folks. There's nowhere to go. Number 17 stepping in for the Bulldogs. Bases are juiced. Nobody out. 6-1. Things could get a little hairy for the Knights here. First pitch over the plate, swing and a miss. Dangerous first pitch by Savino. It worked out for him. Count 0-1. To the ready. The kick and the pitch over the plate, swing and a miss. Quickly up 0-2. The breaking ball from a lefty to a lefty breaks away. So you got to remember that Gorman faces more righties, obviously, and the breaking ball that he is used to breaks in. This one is breaking away with an 0-2 count. Away. And the catcher sets up away early. Might have been able to pick that up. Oh, and that's going to go behind him and hit him from an 0-2 count to a run in. Gorman wasn't pleased with it. However, it gets done. Somehow he just manufactures runs with 0-2 counts. He either jacks it out of the yard, if the base is loaded, takes it for the team. Gorman, in RBI the unusual way, 7 runs in for the Bulldogs. Zach Beckler, their shortstop, coming into the game, as I mentioned earlier, batting .404, having a great game, having improved that average. Bases loaded, nobody out still. In the meat of the order and in trouble are the Knights, 7-1. Bottom 5, nobody out. High and away, 1-0 count. All dangerous hitters to be forced to throw strikes to. Clearly that pitch got away from him against Gorman. That's not what he wanted to do. And the delivery. Right over the plate to center field. He's got him beat. That's going to be a big trouble. That is going to clear the bases. And he's going to go all the way to third. Beckler, no throw. Bases loaded. Triple by Zach Beckler. And this puppy has opened up. The score, Bulldogs 10, Knights 1, bottom 5, runner on third, nobody out. Holy smokes, like I said, contributions by everybody. Beckler having a day already, defensively, offensively. Came in, like I said, 404, now he's batting higher. That right there could have been the nail in this young team. We have to play and see, but that 10th run gap is sitting at third base with nobody out for the Bulldogs. We are 5 innings through. Shep Simmons steps in the plate for the Bulldogs. The Knights are in. They can't give up the run, or this game will be over, folks. And that's a single. That'll plate it. And that makes the score 11-1 for the Bulldogs. And that, I do believe, is going to do it, folks, for this one. They're going back to their position. The umpire is going to clear it. Shep Simmons with the walk-off single for the Bulldogs, who explode in the bottom of the 5th. Answer any little finicky issues they may have had last night against Charahoe. They solved tonight. Runners left on base, no problemo. The freshman Michael Poole on the hill gets the win. No earned runs, 5 innings. The one blemish was an unearned one. The Bulldogs answer. They have a nice day on the field, an aggressive, great day on the base pass again. Boy, is this team tough in every facet of the game. They are fired up, ready to go, folks. Sunday night, prime time across the complex. Ladies, fast pitch softball, having one heck of a season themselves. We will be there live, 7 p.m., Westerly.live, Westerly.radio. We are signing off, folks.